This right here on 720 WGN. The governor of the state of Illinois, Bruce Rauner, is in. It's really funny because I know this was a debate 4 years ago, but
it still is a debate now. Apparently,
I got John Williams got all mad at me at the beginning of the show. Is it Rauner? Is it Rauner?
He says you're saying
Rauner.
his name wrong.
I'm saying Rauner, and he says it's Rauner, and I'm like, and I don't know. And you know what? I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to ask Diana, who's here as well. Is it Rauner or Rauner? You married into this, so you had to know. You have to tell your relatives.
It's Rauner.
Rauner.
It's German. Yeah.
But among my friends, it's 50-50 split, and I don't spend any time worrying about it. Anything but late for dinner is good with me.
Right.
I like what you did there. All right. Were you correcting people at the wedding? No. Are you with the Rauner? All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So are you saying it right or wrong?
I was saying it wrong.
Okay.
But I was with Diana. I bet you that's the way she said it too before they were married. All right. So let's see. The last week, here you are.
Yeah.
The last
big
week.
Sprint, 7 weeks, 7 days.
Yep. And it seems like it's been 7 years on a trail here, right?
Dog years as governor. So 4 years is really 28 years. It's like dog years.
It's been a fight.
Oh, boy.
I said this to you out there. I'll say it on here. I appreciate what you've been through the last 4 years. This is a really difficult situation that you're in.
It is.
Politically, it's a difficult situation. The state is in a difficult situation.
Yep.
You rolled the dice. You tried to hold to a principle that the politics of this state was not going to hold to.
Yep.
We're in a fiscally very, very precarious position here as we move forward.
No, that's right. And what we can't do is give up. As you point out, it's been hard. And boy, it's been a slug. It's like running, uphill on a sand dune or something. You just, one step forward, you slide back down. But what we can't do is give up. This is our home. We got to keep working for our home to make it better.
Okay.
I think one of the things your current ad campaign points out, though, is people resonated. Your message in the last election resonated. Pro business, pro jobs, clean up government.
Pro-growth,
Let's get things going here. Let's clean up what we've done wrong in the past. But your new messaging is, we've come up short. And I think some people.
Well, we got to be honest about. We didn't get term limits done. You know what? I really think we got to get term limits done. And Democrats and other states have done it. We got to stay strong in that. We need redistricting reform, fair maps, so we can end the gerrymandering and the rigged elections. With no political opponent in the general elections. And then, very importantly, our property taxes are insane. We got to get the mandates off of our schools and our local government so we can bring down our property taxes. We haven't got it yet, but we can't give up.
Okay, so I think the most impacting criticism of you has been that you weren't able to get it done in these 4 years. So what makes us believe that you can get it done in the next?
Well, so first of all, how could anybody think that when the folks who created the mess are still a super majority in the General Assembly, that I'd be able to snap my fingers and get massive change within 3 or 4 years? That's unrealistic. The reality is we've made major changes in terms of being able to grow jobs. We got reductions on fees to start a business. We got $500 million in pension reform. We've got relief on regulatory burdens on our businesses. We've grown 210,000 jobs in Illinois, and I've been endorsed by all the job creator organizations, the chamber, the manufacturers, the small business owners. They all know that I'm fighting for them. And I'm very honored. The National Black Chamber of Commerce gave me an award, their annual award for the elected official in the United States of America who's done more for black business than anyone. We won that award this year. We are very pro-business and pro-growth. We're making progress. But we've got a lot more to do, and what we can't do is just say, oh, well, it's been so hard. We didn't get everything we needed done, so let's just go back to the old ways, go back to gerrymandering, go put in a massive new income tax hike, put $11 billion in new spending. Goodness gracious, the businesses that have left the state over the years, that'll turn into a flood if we go down that road. We got to stay strong and try to improve things.
How do you message a Republican Party that is so divided within itself?
Well, it's a huge challenge. I'm a big Ronald Reagan fan, massive Ronald Reagan fan. And, as he said, the Republican Party should be a big tent. I believe that very strongly. And I also remind folks, one of his great messages was, if you and I agree on 80% of the issues, we're 80% friends, not 20% enemies. And right. I think if we could bring that mindset back, frankly, not only with the Republicans, but as Americans, and change the dynamic.
Well, isn't that part of the thing, though, in Springfield? I know it is in Washington, and it is that let's go the other way. 20% you agree on. You're still 100% friends because at the end of the day, you go back, you're humans, and these guys down in Springfield, would and in Washington, they'd fight like hell on the floor of the House or the Senate, or
that's right.
or during election seasons, but they could at least be civil with each other, and they were friends with each other, and they went to each other's kids' birthday parties and stuff like that. And
that's right.
and we seem to be falling apart in that sense.
No, I agree with that. You know what? When I was running 4 years ago, I actually sent a book about Tip O'Neill, the Democratic leader, and his relationship with Ronald Reagan, and the book was called Tip and the Gipper, and I actually sent a copy of that to Mike Madigan, naive me. I'm a fiscal conservative Republican, and here's a book about how there's a leader of the Democratic Party and how we work together. And Speaker sent back a little snarky note and threw it aside. And but we can't give up. What we can never do is give up.
The Tribune editorial board, in its endorsement, you said, we need you. We need your voice to fight for Illinois. We need the bully pulpit, your veto pen, whatever powers you have to stand up, and so it isn't sort of an unchecked government. I mean, when you think about it, how much of the problems of you getting your agenda through do you place on Mike Madigan? What do you say?
The system is broken. Madigan is a key linchpin in it, but the whole system is broken, and what we have to all understand as the citizens of Illinois is it's going to take some time to fix it. But we need to have a Republican Party that's functional and a Democratic Party that's run by honest folks, and a two-party democracy actually can work. And that's the way our system in America is designed. And in Illinois, the corruption has been so endemic. And frankly, some Republicans have been part of that corruption as well. We've had Republican governors go to prison. We've had bipartisan messed up system.
Right. Congratulations on not going to prison. Right? I mean, that seems like to be the big marker for our governors.
Yeah, and we should congratulate you. This is most excellent. We finally did it.
Finally, yay.
The definition of success, having a very low bar.
Right, that's true.
Tragically,
right,
seems the case.
I mean, it seems that we in this state we've kind of doomed ourselves here, and I just wonder, I don't know. I've gotten to know over the years of doing this. I've gotten to know a lot of politicians personally, and the one guy, Mike Madigan, is one I do not know. I mean, I went to school with his daughter. I knew his other members of his family. I don't think I've ever been in the same room with him. And I mean, the reason that he enjoys this reputation of the Prince of Darkness is because he does live like that. He lives like in these shadows. I think he's got a castle on the southwest side.
I chased him through the halls of Springfield, and he's disappeared behind doors I didn't know existed. Right. I'd be like, where did he go?
And you do, and the thing to me that is that I never get the sense, because he doesn't have to, and state reps by their virtue of the fact that they've got small districts and they only need dozens of people to vote for them to stay in office as opposed to hundreds of thousands of them. Literally, it's thousands versus hundreds of thousands.
That's right.
It's a crazy thing that he wields the power. He's not very public about what his positions are. It is really about the mechanics of old school Illinois politics. Of
exactly.
Who we going to take care of here.
That's true.
And you're seeing, as much as they talk about the swamp in Washington, I don't know. The New York Times just did a story this week where they laying out a lot of things going on in Washington about the self-dealing that goes on there, and it's worse than it has ever been in some respects.
Yeah, that's true.
And it seems very much to me that we know about self-dealing in this town. I mean, in this town, in this state, we know all about it. And and no matter how much people try to stand on the hill and say we're not going to do it, and run, even Democrats have run on that.
That's right.
And we haven't been able to get that. I'm not trying to say give up, but I'm just laying out the frustration here.
No, it's incredibly frustrating.
And I see that. And then when we get into the petty politics of, and listen, this is what happens. You got campaigns, you got campaign strategists, you got the guys who do the commercials and all that. And everybody's got an idea, and they go, listen, I know you personally are not going to like this, but we got to do it because it's going to work, right? And I mean, that's got to be. You're a very smart and dedicated person who decided, you and Diana decided you're going to change your life and you're going to go do this for a while. Yep. I mean, how much of that when you have to sit in those meetings, does there's got to be an internal struggle.
Oh boy, big time. So I come from the business world, and it's you don't spend so much time arguing about what's true and not true, and you don't spend time about fighting about spin. It's an amazing consuming process.
Because in the business world, there are real numbers.
No, that's right.
There are exacts.
Exactly right. You might disagree on a decision, but you generally don't disagree about what are the facts and what aren't. In the public sector, you're fighting about the facts all the time. It's an amazing, very frustrating process. But to your point, Ro, in Illinois, we've had decades of this kind of self-serving, self-dealing process. Certainly Madigan's been a part of it, but he hasn't been the only one. And what all of us as citizens here, we've just got to keep trying. We can't give up. And I think we're very close. I really do. We're making progress. What we can't go back. Mr. Pritzker is with Mr. Madigan. They're part of that system, and Democrats investigated Mr. Pritzker and made accusations. I haven't, and the truth is coming out. But what we know is higher taxes are just going to push out more families and businesses. What we know is more gerrymandered districts are going to rig the system so we don't have two-party democracy. And those are the two things for sure that are going to come out of this election if I'm not able to prevail. Higher taxes, bigger $11 billion in new spending, and gerrymandered districts. Those are guaranteed, and those will just make our problems worse, not better.
All right. Well, I feel for you right now. That's all I could say. And again, no matter what the outcome is of next Tuesday, people. I hope that people that are diligent, smart, dedicated, interested in Chicago or Illinois or the United States of America actually go and do this. Go and try these things.
Everybody's got to vote. It's so important that we get out and vote. And together, let's keep trying. Let's keep the efforts going. We've done great things in the first term. Not enough, but really good things in education, in healthcare, in criminal justice reform, in growing jobs. We've made progress, and we've been pushing back against a very self-serving system. We got to keep going, keep trying. Don't ever give up. We've got the best people in America, best location, outstanding city. We've got everything going for us. Let's keep trying.
Are we going to get Amazon?
We're in the mix. I tell you, they love the U of I. They want to be wherever the U of I tech campus is. They do so.
Right now, one that you guys announced? Was it 6 months ago, 9 months ago?
I got
That's
half
exciting.
$1 billion. There's a big progress right there. Got $500 million in the capital budget from the state to help the U of I expand here in Chicago, as well as Rockford, Peoria, and in Champaign-Urbana. They are one of the greatest computer schools in the world.
So this campus, let's just go back to this, because this is important. This is a campus. It's going to be U of I, Northwestern, and U of C, right?
That's right. And Tel Aviv University, Hebrew University.
Right.
This is a big partnership, and the U of I is going to lead it.
Here in Chicago. On the river by Roosevelt.
On Roosevelt Road. And Amazon said, we want to be there. GE, the big companies want to be there because of the incredible tech talent. The U of I has supplied the computer scientists and the technology geniuses for Microsoft.
YouTube.
The majority.
Right.
And Intel. And their alumni started YouTube, PayPal, Oracle, Siebel Systems, Netscape, iTunes, Tesla Motors. Extraordinary. And if we can integrate their students into the economy in Champaign and in Chicago and Rockford, Peoria, we will boom in the tech sector.
They invented the HAL 9000.
That's it. From
2001: A Space Odyssey.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
We find that out at the end. It's very sad, but we find out that's exactly what happened. All right. Well,
it's true.
Governor Rauner, thank you.
Great to be with you guys.
For being with us today, Diana. Thank you very
Diana.
much, and and your service as well. Your service, by the way, we were talking about everything that your husband has done here, but this is it. Being First Lady of the state of Illinois is not an easy job. I know you've probably talked to some of them throughout the years, there's the public sector, the public mixing bowl that everybody gets involved in, but you've done a lot of work for charitable causes and kept people going on the right direction here too. I know, and I want to thank you guys. When we had those terrible tornado through Washington,
it's
went
horrible.
through, and you guys were first on the spot to help us out and start.
Well, thank you for all that you. Yes, exactly.
With donations and money for that community. That's a tornado relief in this state. That's one of the things in the city of Chicago. We have our own set of problems, but throughout the state, obviously, we're a gigantic flat land here.
No, tornadoes and floods have been horrendous in recent years, and you guys have been awesome, and all of us. The way communities come together in Illinois, people helping each other. It's why we're such a wonderful place, a wonderful home.
It's heartening.
It
I
is.
would like
In
just
these
to
times.
get all of you people into a room
Yeah.
and just quiet room, closed, no microphones. And I'm just going to give everybody a speech. And I want you to go back
talking
out there. Go back out there. And the only thing you can quit is cable. Now get out there. What I want. All right. Governor and Mrs. Rauner, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Oh,
Appreciate
Anna,
you being
thank you so much. Great to be with you.
Let's check in with Judy, find out what's coming up at the bottom of the hour.
A man arrested for burglarizing the home of a murdered couple in Wisconsin. Their daughter still missing.